Hey folks, this is Kalani. There are some huge changes to the weekly vault coming with the next weekly reset that could make its rewards significantly more valuable and give you more ways to earn special rewards, like sockets for your gear. A socket item has been absent for Season 3 of Shadowlands so far, but the dev team are adding one in to make sure you can always work towards adding sockets on all of your gear to make sure it can be as good as it can be. So let's take a quick look at what lies in store for the weekly vault. Before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. First up, the dev team are going to change how the attendant tokens of merit work. If you're not sure what these are, when you open your Great Vault, you have all the options that you unlocked in the previous week, right? If you killed raid bosses, you get some raid rewards. If you did dungeons, those rewards are filled in as well. But right at the bottom of this window, you also have the option for taking 3 attendant tokens of merit. This is a special currency that you can trade in for various goodies with the nearby broker vendor Kotul the Exchange Specialist. Right now, you can get Corthite Crystals, Stygia, Soul Anima, Archived Research, and Cosmic Flux, so there aren't too many great options, but at least there's something to buy with this currency. The first change that is being made is to how many tokens you can carry at any one time. Previously, this was set at 3, meaning you would have to spend a week's worth of tokens before you could even pick up any more. That's kind of annoying, so they're increasing the cap up to 12. That's better for sure and will be important for later on, but honestly, why have a cap at all? It's the last patch in the expansion. None of these items are particularly amazing or awesome or worth stockpiling your tokens for. Having a cap just seems arbitrary at this point, but whatever. So we can hold up to 12 tokens going forward. We're also going to be able to earn more tokens per week, and it's split into 3 reward levels. If you unlock 1 Great Vault segment, you can get 2 tokens as an option. If you unlock 2 Great Vault segments, you can get 4 tokens as an option. And if you unlock 3 or more Great Vault segments, you can get 6 tokens as an option. So the lowest number is lower, 2 instead of 3, but that's only if you do the bare minimum for the Great Vault reward. Anything past that with 2 segments or more, and you will earn more tokens up to a maximum of 6 tokens per week, providing you don't have anything you actually want to take from the Great Vault. Remember, these tokens are a bit of a pity reward. Nothing is worth taking from the actual list of loot rewards, so here's some tokens as a consolation prize. That means you arguably don't really want these tokens as an option, right? You'd rather have the big gear upgrade, so it's going to take a lot of players a little bit of time to get to the point where they have 0 upgrades from their weekly vault and want to take these tokens, unless they're just incredibly unlucky. So bear that in mind as we look at some of these other changes. Now, more tokens are always nice, but the current rewards aren't really worth getting excited about. They're either easy to farm or obtain, or they're just not all that useful anymore. Well, Blizzard has a bit of an answer for that as well. We are going to get a new round of rewards that we can spend these tokens for. The most important one, and the one that will make a lot of players very happy, is the new socket item. You can purchase the Ephemera Infused Mesh, which will allow you to add a socket to any Shadowlands Season 3 item that can use a socket. So that's headpieces, necklaces, braces, belts, and rings. And they will cost you 6 tokens per socket item. So that means you won't be able to get more than 1 socket per week by using tokens, as 6 tokens is the maximum you can earn per week. Then there's also going to be a gold chest that will give you 3,000 gold, and that will cost you 3 tokens. There's an option to buy renown. You can get 1 renown per token you spend, so up to 6 renown per week from this method. You still can't go higher than 80 though, so that one is only really useful for alts and catch-up. The bottled night sky will give you 25 Genesis motes for 1 token. These are very useful for the Protoform Synthesis Forge, though 25 isn't really all that much when all is said and done. There's going to be an option to buy ciphers are the first ones. That will be 40 ciphers per token you spend, and then the last new option is reputation with the Enlightened Brokers. You'll be able to buy 150 reputation per token you want to spend. Personally, I think many of these rewards just aren't worth the token investment. These weekly tokens are not easy to get, and there's at least a decent potential sacrifice for obtaining them. You don't get loot for that week. So 3,000 gold for 3 tokens, 25 Genesis motes for 1 token, 40 ciphers for 1 token, or even 150 rep for 1 token, they just don't seem that appealing, especially when sockets are on the table as well. I guess the reputation could be good if you have literally nothing else to go for and you're all socketed out. and you really want to push for Exalted without having to do much in Sereth Mortis, or maybe you want the Paragon reward or something like that, but the rest probably won't ever get used. I also feel like there's some really easy potential rewards missing from this list. For starters, every other Torghast currency is here except Soul Cinders. That just seems weird, so pop that one in for the sake of full access, and even though the Korthite crystals were added into here, the patch 9.2 equivalent is also missing. Progenitor Essentia are very expensive, they're annoying to farm because it's just a random chance, and they're incredibly valuable because they're used for both higher item level crafted recipes and legendary rank 7 crafts. The weekly tokens already have massive inherent value, so adding in Essentia as a reward shouldn't shake up the market too much, but it gives everyone an accessible way of obtaining their Essentia required for various gear upgrades. It would also be pretty huge if these items were also made account-wide. That would give you another layer of value if none of these items were good for your main character anymore. You could send them over to alts and help get those caught up faster, whether it's with Renown, sockets on gear, or even Cosmic Flux. Being able to power up your characters with your main's excess materials or progress would be a good step towards account-wide progress in my opinion. Now, one last thing I want to mention before we wrap up this video is something that might not have crossed your mind. Even though you might not need an item right this very second, that item could still prove to be incredibly valuable later on. When the Creation Catalyst is enabled about 8 weeks after the patch launched, which I think should put us around April 19th, around about that, but when that feature becomes available, you can turn any raid, Mythic Plus or PvP piece of gear into tier gear, so you might not need that helm piece right now or that chest piece right now. Maybe it has bad stats, maybe it's a bit lower item level, maybe it's just not that useful for whatever reason. When the Creation Catalyst becomes available, you'll be able to punch that piece of gear into the Catalyst and turn it into set gear, as long as it's one of the slots that tier gear occupies, so head, shoulders, chest, hands and legs, you'll get actual set gear from this system. So while looking at your potential rewards, if you see a piece of gear that is one of those gear slots, it might be worth picking up and holding on to until the Catalyst is enabled. The really cool thing about this is that you can upgrade tier pieces you create in this way. So if you make a tier piece with a Mythic Plus chest piece, you'll be able to upgrade it with Valor points as if it was just a standard Mythic Plus piece of gear. The same thing goes for PvP. If you make a piece of set gear with PvP gear, you could upgrade it as if it was still PvP gear. That means you could upgrade that crafted piece further and further just by using the appropriate currency, which might be your best option for obtaining higher item level tier pieces. It just kind of depends on what you need. But remember to keep the Creation Catalyst in mind when making your decision of whether you want to take a piece of gear from your weekly vault or if you want to pick up the currency to buy some of these new options. But that's how the weekly vault will be changing going forward and how you can get socket items in Season 3. What do you think of the new options being introduced? Are they going to be worth spending your tokens on, or would you like to see some other options included? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to everyone who subscribed on Twitch. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.